Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the Mezco 112 Collective Gotham by Gaslight Batman. I ordered this thing from Mezco's website. I actually ordered this thing way back in May of 2021, so it's been over 2.5 years since this order first dropped, and finally, here it is in front of me. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, Batman, A Tale of the Batman, Gotham by Gaslight, Mezco exclusive, 112 Collective, DC. Here's the front, the Gotham by Gaslight comic cover. One side of the package, got Batman, Gotham by Gaslight. Other side, same thing. At the back, here are all the figures, accessories, the figure himself. Looks like a glider, ton of different action poses. At the bottom, there is the barcode, if that somehow helps anybody. So with no further ado, let's open them up. And of course, I did get 2 of these figures, one of which to open and enjoy, the other one to keep unopened in my complete Batman-related unopened action figure collection. And I got a couple of other items that I've been holding for a really long time in anticipation of this figure. This is a Mezco 112 Collective Accessory Pack, Victorian Vigilante Accessory Pack. I believe this is actually intended to go with your Gotham by Gaslight Batman. Part of the DC no gun mandate requires them to have separate accessory packs at times. And I also have this Neca Assassins Creed DaVinci's flying machine. It's sort of an old school bat glider. I got this on eBay sometime in the last couple years and have just waited and waited for this figure to come out. And so let's get back to opening up the figure. Here's the figure in the outer box. And here it is out of the box in the inner clamshell. Here's the top layer removed, exposing the figure and some of the accessories. And here's the next layer removed, exposing another layer of accessories. And here's the final layer removed, giving you access to all the rest of the accessories. I always just like to show off how fancy Mezco's packaging is, top notch in every way. And here's a look at the graphic novel, Gotham by Gaslight. This spawned an animated movie, some sequel comics, and a ton of different action figures. Alright, now that this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. He comes with a ton of cool stuff, as a Mezco Batman always does. He has the typical display stand, baggie for your accessories, a really cool hinged glider. He's got a whole bunch of hands, 3 heads, a cowl, some goggles, 6 knives, 4 articulated batarangs, a little holster for the batarang, and then his grapple hook and rope. But before we take a look at all that, let's talk about and check out the actual figure. So this is Batman from Gotham by Gaslight. Gotham by Gaslight is a graphic novel, an Elseworld story that takes place in 1900s London. Old school Batman. All of his gadgets are very sort of archaic, homemade. It's got a really cool feel to it. In the comic, he's fighting Jack the Ripper, but there are a lot of other characters make appearances, such as Catwoman, Joker, etc. So, it's been a very long wait for this guy. I want to say 2 years and 7 months since I placed my order. And he's finally here. Let's take a look. Start with his head. It looks good. You can see the flesh around the eyes. No makeup. Old school. Super long ears. I like it. A lot of personality. He's got this sort of cloak thing. It's got the chain across. Top little, I don't know, shawl, whatever you want to call it. It's got a bendy wire here. It's got a bendy wire in here as well. So you can have it take whatever shape you want. Flapping the wind, etc. Below here, it all looks homemade. Bat symbol here. You can see the sort of buttons. Utility belt. It looks good. You can holster a bunch of those knives. He's got a thigh belt. Very tall boots. Kind of reminds me of White Knight. And also kind of reminds me of the Robert Pattinson, the Batman. Overall, I'd say it looks phenomenal. More stuff on the back of the utility belt. Just a ton of detail. A lot of personality in the cowl. And it looks very, very reminiscent of the comic. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt. Like I said, I think it looks good. A lot of personality. Very well done. Mezco typically knocks their DC releases out of the park. And then, here's the figure broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's check out his accessories, and let's start off with the display stand. So the display stand has 2 pieces. We have the base here. You can see Batman, Gotham by Gaslight, perched up on a rooftop old school London. And then we also have the post back here. When you put together, it's going to look like this. A flight stand. We have the base there, and then the post. It can rotate at the bottom. It's hinged at the bottom, hinged in the middle, hinged up here. It can rotate up here, and it has a clamp to hold your figure. You also get this little baggie. Pretty basic accessory, but when you have as many accessories as Mezco figure has, I actually appreciate these baggies. Now let's check out his hands. He has a total of 10 of them. 6 right hands and 4 left hands. Here he is with his first pair of hands. These are his fists. And here's his second pair of hands. This is a pair of gripping hands. Here's his next pair of hands. This is a pair of gripping hands with an extremely small grip, presumably for his batarangs. And here's his next 2 hands. His right hand is a gripping hand with a trigger finger, and his left hand is sort of an open hand. Looks like maybe a grabbing, choking, or throwing hand. And he still has 2 more right hands. This next one is a completely outstretched flat right hand. And here's his last right hand. This is a fist with brass knuckles on it. Now let's look at his heads. He has a total of 3 of them. One with a cowl on and a regular expression, one with a cowl on and an angry expression, and then one unmasked Bruce Wayne head. Here's a look at his first head. This one is his default head, has the normal expression. And here's his second head. This one has a little bit of angrier expression, although it's kind of subtle. And here's his third head. This is the unmasked Bruce Wayne head, and it comes complete with old school London mutton chops, which look absolutely horrible, but are perfect for this version of the character. Now for his goggles. At the front, we have some semi-transparent green lenses. On the back, we have some sort of stretchy material to go around his head. Here's Batman without the goggles, and here he is with the goggles on. Now let's take a look at his cape. It's in a dark blue, navy blue type color. It's got an actual real chain across the front here. The material is very smooth. It's not too heavy, not too light. Feels very good. It's got a bendy wire around the collar here, another bendy wire across the shawl here, another bendy wire in the frame of the cape as well as the bottom. Now it has these sort of stretchy things that go under his armpit, and it's really going to hold the cape tight to his body, which looks really good. The first figure I've seen Mezco do that with is a Damian Wayne Robin. We're doing it again here, and I think that actually really helps. Prevents the cape from being all loose and looking bad. Here's Batman without the cape, and here he is with the cape on. Those little bands that go under his armpits really help make it look good, not loose and bulky. Now let's check out his bat cowl. It's made of a hard plastic. Looks like he's going to be able to sort of hold it when he's unmasked, downward. Very cool accessory. You can see how it's sort of wrinkled up, bunched up there. Here's Batman with his unmasked head, holding the cowl at his side. Now for his knives. He has a total of 6 of them. Here's Batman holding a couple of those knives. And here's Batman holstering those knives. He can holster 3 of them onto his utility belt. Now for his grapple with attached bat rope. Now we have the hook here, silver, and then we have this long rope here. Pretty much an old school grapple. Here's Batman holding that grapple. Next he has 4 batarangs. These batarangs have articulation, they're hinged, they're folding batarangs. You can see on each one of the batarangs it has sort of a gripping area here. It's done a silver color. And like I said, they're hinged. They can fold shut. Now be careful. I've had some folded batarangs in the past, and a lot of them have broken. Here's Batman holding and getting ready to throw his batarang. You can see his 5 fingers fit perfect. Obviously they're meant for that hand. And then here, holstering that batarang on the back of his utility belt. He also has this. This is about the only accessory I'm kind of unsure of. It's obviously a little holster type thing. Pretty sure it's going to clip onto the side of his utility belt or his thigh belt and then allow you to hold another accessory. Say you wanted to attach it to his thigh belt and put a folded batarang in it, or here, clipped onto the back of his utility belt. Now I am not convinced this is what it's actually for, but there are no other accessories that make sense with it. Now for his glider, sort of old school DaVinci style glider. It comes in 3 separate pieces. Now, we have some wings here. They're hinged. They have a cloth material here. Very well done. You can see the handle up here where Batman's going to hold on to. Of course, we have 2 of those, and they're going to attach to the centerpiece there. In order to use this, you really need to take his cape off and have him using it without the cape on. Here's the glider, fully assembled. We have the front part here, bat symbol on it, a little harness, and then it's got a ball joint that's going to attach it here. That allows it to have plenty of articulation, and of course you can completely outstretch it and allow him to glide through, well, not Gotham City, but London. And so here's this Batman without the glider, and then here's Batman with the glider attached. Here it is compressed, and I'll tell you, sure, it looks like the bat symbol here is not straight, it's very crooked. And here's Batman with the glider outstretched. You're supposed to be able to take this Batman, take his gripping hands, put them across the glider like this, and have him sort of flying down the city streets of London. It looks pretty cool. Small, but cool. Now we've checked out all of his accessories, let's check out the other stuff I've had waiting for him. Let's look at the Mezco 112 Collective Victorian Vigilante Accessory Pack. I believe this is intended to go alongside this Gotham by Gaslight Batman. Here are the contents of that accessory set. On the top left, we have a shotgun, then we have a handgun, we have 3 stick grenades, a bandolier for the 3 stick grenades, some goggles, a lantern, some handcuffs, and then 2 hook and blast effects for the handgun. We'll start with the goggles. Same as the other goggles, except these have silver frame and red lenses. Here's Batman with these red and silver goggles on. Here's his lantern. Old school style lantern, a little handle at the top. You can see sort of some yellow glass inside of there. Here's Batman holding that lantern as he goes around the dark tunnels of Vienna. Now for his handgun, and then the hook effect. Now the handgun said removable drum. The drum definitely can rotate, but I feel like if you're going to pull it out, there's a little peg sort of keeping it in there, and it's just not going to come out. Still, pretty cool for him to have a handgun with attached grapple. Here's Batman holding that handgun, putting his trigger finger hand to perfect use. It is obviously meant for this thing. Then, with the attached blast effect, which looks pretty cool. And it looks like that's what that little extra holster thing is for. And I guess it's optional removal because a lot of people aren't going to get the accessory set to go with this guy. Next we have a shotgun. Shotgun looks pretty good. Got sort of the wooden back part here. You can see the barrel, very old school. It's got a strap so it can go across its back. Looks like it has a hole so it can also accommodate the effects. Here's this Batman holding that shotgun. Now I know Batman typically doesn't use handguns and shotguns, but this is not your typical Batman. This is a what if Batman existed in old school London. And here's the blast effect coming out of that gun as well. And here's Batman with that shotgun harnessed around his back. Now we have these stick grenades and the bandolier to hold up across his chest. Here's Batman holding that stick grenade, about to throw this makeshift bomb. And here, with that bandolier strapped across his chest. And finally, for the handcuffs, we have 2 sort of old school shackles here with an actual chain connecting them. Here's the Gotham by Gaslight Joker with those handcuffs wrapped around his wrists. And so not only does the Mezco Gotham by Gaslight Batman come with a ton of accessories, if you get the Victorian Vigilante pack, it comes with even more stuff to enhance that figure. But here's something else I have for this figure. This is not intended for him. This is a Neca Assassins Creed Brotherhood DaVinci flying machine. Now he already has a pretty cool glider, but this is going to be way bigger and I thought it might be really cool for him. Hopefully it fits. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, DaVinci's flying machine. On the backside you can see different sort of display options and action features. Like I said, really hope it fits. Here are the contents of this Neca Assassins Creed DaVinci glider. It is way bigger than the Mezco Gotham by Gaslight version. I mean, look at the size comparison, my word. So, looks like we have a bunch of different pieces here. Let's see if I can get it put together and see if it works with this Mezco Batman. Well, now that we've got this thing fully assembled, it is huge. Detail is fantastic. So you have a little rail here for your guy to hold on to. He's kind of going to be up in here in the back. These giant bat wings. You can see the sort of wrinkle, the fabricy material. The texturing is phenomenal. Paint job is also very good. It has an area back here for his feet to sort of hang on to. It definitely resembles a bird or a giant bat. It even has a little fiery missile up here, and you can even press down, fire out the missile. So, include with weapons. Absolutely phenomenal. Looks really cool. And there you have it, the Mezco Gotham by Gaslight Batman, utilizing the Neca Assassins Creed DaVinci glider. This thing is giant. It is absolutely fantastic. I'd almost say it's oversized, but I don't think oversized is exactly the right word, because it's sized probably about right for this figure. I wish he had two of the larger gripping hands to hold on to the thing properly. He looks great. First of all, here's the entire glider with him. Nope. Kind of falling off. Like I said, I wish he had two of those hands. These are about the best two hands you can get. Feet, utilizing the back part. As a whole, it looks really good. Really old school. Perfect for this Gotham by Gaslight Batman. Got to kind of work on the hand thing a little better. Still, looks good. Looks really cool. Really big glider. So here's Batman and his glider. It's really big, almost kind of awkward and a pain to deal with. But look at that wingspan, both 2 feet wide. Batman looks great in this thing. It's a little bit big and kind of awkward to hold and handle. He's not nearly as secured as I like him to be, but man, thing is badass. And the detail is really, really nice. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at the figure, his accessories, a bunch of other accessories you can use to enhance him. Now let's look at his height. From bottom to the top of his head, standing at about 6.4 inches tall, which can translate to just over 16 centimeters. And if you go to the top of the ears, about 6.8 inches tall. Now for his articulation. Starting with his head here, of course, you can rotate side to side. You can look up and down a pretty good amount. Can't tilt his head from one side to the other. Shoulders on a ball joint. Goes out more than 90 degrees. Up, down, around. He's got a little bit of forward and back motion, not much. Bicep cut below that. Feels like it might be a single jointed elbow. I'm not able to get any further than this. His wrist, kind of on a ball joint, can rotate. Kind of hinged. His torso, he's got a ball joint, can rotate around, forward and back. Another one is waist, rotate around, forward and back. Between the two, pretty good range of motion. The torso, the suit is not super tight, so it's got some sort of give and flexibility to it. You get more out of the waist than the torso on this guy. Legs, almost complete as a splits. And then go forward all the way, back not too much. He's got very good thigh rotation. Double jointed knees, they go back about that far. Then his ankle, forward and back, rotate, tilt rock, and there you have it. Here's a look at Batman on a rooftop overlooking the streets of Gotham, London. And here's Batman with his grapple about to scale the side of the building. Batman realizes he's got to go a long distance to the other side of the city, prepares to deploy his glider. Here's Batman getting ready to jump off a rooftop, using his glider, defending the city. Here's Batman gliding through the London skies, moonlight in the background. Here's the Joker in his lair, his chamber of horrors. He enjoys torturing his victims. A look at the Joker. He's just cutting this guy apart, digging in deep. He loves what he's doing. He is insane. Later that evening, the Joker is playing cards with some more Gotham rogues. Just a casual night as ever. Torturing somebody, playing cards right afterwards. He has no conscience. Later the Joker comes back home, top hat and coat on. Joker takes out his briefcase. Joker puts down his briefcase, full of all of his goodies. Gets geared up, is ready to continue torturing his victim. Little does he know, Batman found out and has been waiting for him. Batman confronts the Joker. Batman is disgusted and infuriated, starts beating the Joker to a bloody pulp. But he doesn't kill him. Then the London police come take over. They have Joker in handcuffs. Here's a look at this old school Batman chasing gentlemen ghosts on horseback through a cemetery. And a look at Batman taking down an old school Mr. Freeze. His wife Nora in the background. Mr. Freeze defending her. Batman simply trying to take him down. And Batman taking on the monk in a church type setting. Now let's check him out. Next to some other action figures. Starting off with some other Gotham by Gaslight figures. Here's Mezco's Batman from Gotham by Gaslight, next to Mezco's Joker from Gotham by Gaslight. Funny thing is, Joker wasn't even in the comic Gotham by Gaslight. He was hinted at in one little panel. They sort of mixed the Jack the Ripper character with Joker and provided you with sort of Joker the Ripper, which is a really cool idea and an excellent figure. And here he is, next to the DC Direct Gotham by Gaslight Batman. Then, with a Mattel DC Multiverse Gotham by Gaslight Batman. And now, next to a Noir Toys Gotham by Gaslight Batman, this is a third-party, unauthorized, unlicensed 1/12 scale figure. Here are all of my Gotham by Gaslight Batman action figures. These are all that they make in the 6 and 7 inch scale. I wouldn't be surprised if McFarlane tries to make one in the near future in their DC Multiverse line. Now let's check them out with some other versions of Batman villains that I think will be appropriate for the 19th century London type setting. Of course, we have to include Mezco's Gotham by Gaslight Joker. The McFarlane DC Multiverse Page Puncher fighting the frozen Mr. Freeze is perfect for the Gotham by Gaslight type setting. He's actually from that time period in the comic that was included with the figure. He's in his old school sort of scuba outfit, converted to be sort of a free suit, and he's a little bit tall, but it's perfect because he's in this big sort of bulky suit, so I think he scales up great with this Batman. Of course, Gentleman Ghost also makes perfect sense. He's in the perfect era for a 19th century London person. This is a Mattel DC Universe Classics Gentleman Ghost, fantastic figure. And here he is, next to a custom version of the Monk. The Monk is an old school Batman rogue, and it's pretty good for the old school Gotham by Gaslight type setting. Now let's check him out. Next to some other Mezco 1/12 collector figures. Here he is, next to the most recent Mezco figures I've gotten. This is the Zack Snyder's Justice League, Batman, Superman, and Flash 3-pack. And before that, I got the Mezco Damian Wayne Robin. Now let's check him out. Next to some other Mezco Batman figures. Here he is, next to the Dark Knight Returns and the Golden Age Mezco Batman. And here he is, next to a couple of Mezco movie Batman figures. We had the Ben Affleck Batman for Batman vs Superman and the Michael Keaton Batman from 1989. Then, next to Mezco's trilogy of Batman figures, we have the Ascending Knight Batman, the Sovereign Knight Batman, and the Supreme Knight Batman. And now, next to Mezco's Batman Beyond Batman, here's this Batman next to a few Mezco Bat Rogues, the Mutant Leader, Joker, Black Mask, and Deathstroke. And here, with a few more Mezco Bat Rogues, KG Beast, Two-Face, and Mr. Freeze. Next, with a Mezco Catwoman and Harley Quinn. Then, with a Mezco Commissioner Gordon and John Constantine. And now, with a couple more Mezco Superman figures. And finally, with a couple of non-DC Mezco figures. We have Diabolic and a pink Chaos Club Skull member. Now let's check him out. Next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you don't know which ones you can mix him with. Since he's a Mezco figure, they're typically the 6 inch scale. I want to start off my comparisons with some of these smaller action figure lines I collect, and work my way larger, and I'm going to include as many Batman figures as I can during these comparisons. Here he is, next to some Jazzwares, and some SH Figure Arts figures. And here he is, next to some Hasbro Marvel Legends, and some Mafex Batman figures. Here's this Batman, next to my son's Advent Calendar. Then, next to both some Mattel and Neca Batman figures. And now, next to some Jazzwares and Mattel wrestling figures. Then, with some DC Direct and some McFarlane Batman figures. And finally, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys and some Jakks Pacific wrestling figures. Overall, this Batman figure is fantastic. His suit, cloth goods, excellent. It's not too tight, it's not too baggy, it's just right. The cape, also phenomenal. His accessories are endless, there are so many of them. And if you get the accessory pack on top of that, it just adds to the figure. And I'm so happy he actually works with that Neca Assassins Creed DaVinci glider. It's kind of hard to manage because it's so big, but it looks great and fits perfect with the figure scale-wise. His articulation, fantastic, no complaints there. Accessories, amazing. Sculpt paint job, also very good. If I had to rate this figure, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Very nice figure. Mezco almost always has a home run with their DC releases, in particular their Batman releases, and this guy is no exception. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say to the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.